Good afternoon. Welcome to the Land, Natural Resources, and Cultural Preservation Committee FY22 budget hearing, December 16th, 2021, 4 o'clock p.m. here in the Mound Auditorium. Call this meeting to order at 4 o'clock, and I'd like to ask Representative Proctor for invocation, please. Man, roll call by Legislative Clerk Ms. April Lindsay.
Joseph Hicks.
Here.
Charles McHenry.
Here.
Thomas Senior Hall Osborne.
Present.
Darrell Proctor.
Here.
Mark Randolph.
Present.
Chairman, you got 5 present and 0 absent.
5 present, 0 absent. Establishes a quorum. All business conducted will be official. We have minutes? We have no minutes, so we're going to get right down to our order of business. Department of Interior Affairs. Just the museum one underneath it. Museum Cultural Center. Welcome. Welcome. Go right ahead.
Mowing. Okay. Whoa.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry.
That's all right.
So the budget is still flat, and the only increase we had was in the line item for office rent and lease, and that is because the council house landlord and LLC for that rent, it goes up 5% every year. So that's why there is an increase in that line item.
Any questions? Any questions from the committee?
We also have the Red Stick Gallery. That's our revolving fund budget. I don't know if that's something that they look over too.
Well, we'll do this one first, okay?
Okay.
Let's do this.
Sounds good.
If there's no questions, I'd entertain a motion.
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the Museum and Cultural Center budget.
Motion's been made by Representative Osborne to approve the Museum Cultural Center budget. Do we have a second? Second by Representative Hicks. Roll call vote, please.
Thomas Senior Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. The Museum Cultural Center budget has been approved.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And what did you want to do?
We have our revolving budget for Red Stick Gallery. I didn't know if that's something that, do they need to look over as well? Okay, there's no salaries or anything. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next we have MCN Meat Processing Plant. Come on down.
Good afternoon. You should have several of my budgets in a row. The first two, the sheet that looks like this, that's just the report from this morning for the revenue that we've had in the retail space so far. I thought you might be interested in seeing that. We're up so far about 60% over last week, so I'm doing really well. Keeping up, but I mean, folks come in and if they like something, they keep coming back for it. So the second sheet you have, it should say LSMC at the top, and that's the operational budget for the year. That's the sheet that's stapled together. It's new. It's a new budget for us, so obviously I can't compare it to anything from last year, but this will be the operating budget. There's no salary and fringe because all of the labor is going to come out of the contractual line item. So I think it's set up to eventually sort of spin out as a separate business. But for the first couple years, it's under the kind of the government umbrella. So that's the reason that you don't see any salary or wages in there. There was a mod to it. That's the second sheet that you see was sort of the original back last spring. And then the second was an increase after we got a little further along in the process. That's why there are two connected there.
Questions from the committee?
Chair,
Yes, sir.
make a motion to pass the meat processing plant budget.
Motion's been made by Representative Hicks to approve the meat processing budget.
Second.
Second by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
1 in favor, 0 against. MCN meat processing plant budget has been approved. Thank you very much. Keep up the hard work.
Thank you.
Are you next also?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Jump right in there.
Alrighty. So we have several of the program budgets here. The first one you see should say Loop Square Ranch at the top left. So there's two columns. This was my copy. I'm sorry if there's any confusion, but the first column there is the budget is up for approval today. It's a flat budget. The only thing that will change in any of my budgets is a utility line item, and I'll point that out when we get there, when we get to that budget. But the ranch budget is flat for the time being. The next budget is our Ag Youth budget. It's also flat, no changes to it. The next budget you'll see is our natural resources fencing. It's self-governance money, but I still like to show you guys that budget as well. Then we have our DANR budget. As I said, this is the one that had an increase. It's a utility line item for $7,500. Previously, we've been officing out of environmental services, which we appreciate Mr. Williams allowing that. And so our offices for the Division of Ag, which is not obviously the ranch and the farm and the plant are under that umbrella, but this is will be our gaming budget for operations. So our wildlife program, storm shelter program, and myself, we all come out of this budget. And so this is kind of our office budget, and we didn't have a utility line item previously. And so now that we moved out to the new offices at the ranch, at the new ranch, we'll have a utility line item. So that's the only increase on there. Any of the justifications, the next sheet is the justifications if you had any questions on that.
Any questions? Everybody okay? Entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion that we pass 2022 budget for the agricultural and natural resources.
Motion's been made by Representative McHenry to pass the agricultural natural resources budget. We have a second. Second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Yes.
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 4 in favor, 0 against. That budget passes. Thank you. Cultural Center and Archives. Okay, it's the same. Cultural preservation. Hmm. The, I guess like the last one or whatever. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
You got the floor. Go right ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. So there's a lot of significant changes in our budget. The main one is that we've been operating out of gaming funds and program income. And our program income was generated from reviewing cell phone towers that have been put up on the reservation and in our ancestral homelands. We've stopped generating money in 2018, and so we've been operating off the funds that were generated for about 7 years. We probably have 2.5 years left of funding in that budget. And so what is being proposed is to use the remainder of our program income to start a cultural endowment or some kind of budget that's going to be used for cultural preservation in the future. And then the rest of our budget being carried fully 100% by gaming. And so our numbers went up big time to accommodate the program income kind of going away and us being carried on gaming. So that's the reflection of the increase, because we were going from gaming to cover 10 salaries to now to cover 17. Before, our program income would cover 7 of our 17 staff. I don't know if Clay or Jesse want to add to that.
I don't have anything in front of me that shows the increase that you're talking about, so I don't know what it is. And just to add further, it's not in Munis, so this is the first that finance knows about the numbers. So what's in Munis is 800,000, and what's here is 1.4 million. There's a $700,000 increase. We'd just like some time to determine the impact of the increase on the budget overall. I apologize, but what the committee has in front of them is the budget that got put into Munis, and these numbers aren't in there.
Okay, I had worked with McKay to get it into the central budget entry this week, and so I wasn't sure what report was going to be or what numbers you guys are looking at.
Could we ask that the budget be approved at the prior year level, and then we can get with Chief, sit down with Chief and the program and determine exactly if, because I do remember this, the course of action isn't a surprise. I was there when it was discussed. but the numbers are new. So we'd like to get with Chief, make sure Chief approves it. And based on the increases that have been approved so far, which are about 12 million, let's see if this is what we want to do and bring it back to the committee.
I want to do that.
So are you guys just seeing a gaming and a program income line item? Or
In Munis, it's the same as the prior year. What's before the council?
Is anyone ready to make a motion?
Chairman, make a motion to approve the budget for the current year, 21 budget.
Is that what we need?
Motion to approve at the 21 budget, is that what you're saying? Yes.
Motion's been made to approve the budget at the 2021 year by Representative Proctor. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Yohola. Roll call vote, please.
Gerald Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Yohola Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. That budget is approved at that the year. Do you have any questions? We're just finding out about this also, Ms. Butler. It's nothing against anybody. It's just
What we're wanting to do is, so we have the program income, which has grown, substantially over the years, and we're wanting to possibly combine those with the program income and gaming to make it more correct. We were wanting to keep it. We'll get with Chief. We're wanting to preserve that program income as much as possible. That's why we were going through the budgets, but we'll get with Clay and we'll have that all straightened out.
we're more than happy to work with you.
Yes, sir.
No worries. Just
Thank you.
come back. Okay. Federal roads. Welcome. You have the floor, sir.
In the federal roads, we get our money through the tribal transportation program. It's all 100% federal funding that we receive, and our budget is the same amount as last year. With the passing of the infrastructure bill this year, we anticipate our funding is going to go up. Our federal funding is going to go up, but we won't know that for several months. So the budget is the same as last year.
Thank you. Any questions? Entertain a motion.
Chairman,
Make
go
a
ahead.
Make a motion that we approve the 2022 budget for federal roads.
Motion's been made to approve the 2022 budget for federal roads.
Second.
Second by Representative Osborne. First by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Gerald Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Yohola Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
Federal roads budget's been approved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Tribal construction. Welcome. Hello.
Okay, the budget that I just handed you is for tribal construction, and it's pretty much the same as 2021. If you look at the 2021 budget column and the 2022, it's the same budget, no changes.
Any questions?
Chairman, motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Representative Proctor,
Second.
second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. The budget for tribal construction has been approved. Thank you, Mr. Emerson. All right.
Okay, on the life safety budget, there has been a change. We lost our code official. We had to search for a new code official, and we were very fortunate to find one of the top 5 code officials in the state of Oklahoma. He's overqualified. He's got more certifications than anybody I've ever seen, and we're having to pay him a little more, so there is a change in the salary from 21 to 22. And we just took money from building maintenance and repairs to make up the difference, so the budget stayed the same. Our new code official is going to be able to self-perform a lot of the inspections that we were having to contract out, so we're going to probably recoup more than what we're paying him. But I do want you to be aware that we have taken on some more responsibilities as far as monitoring of the buildings. In the past, they have been paid for through facilities, and we had some buildings that weren't being monitored. Matter of fact, this year there was very few of them that were being monitored. And so we now have a PO to monitor all the buildings under one umbrella. So one company will be responsible. And so our buildings will be monitored 24/7 for the first time in a long time. And that's coming out of this budget. We also have taken on inspections and repairs of all the generators. And every year we're adding more and more generators to our facilities. I think this year we've added 10 generators. And so that's 10 more inspections and 10 more repairs that we have to do every year. So with that being said, we're saving money because this code official is able to do a lot of the inspections, but then again, we took on more responsibility. But I think it's going to be close, but I think we can make it.
Very good. Thank you. Questions?
Chairman, motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Representative Proctor,
Second.
second by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry. Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. The budget for transportation has been approved.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Mr. Emerson. Thank you. Tribal driveways. It's all right. It's okay.
Well, mine basically is the same all through, other than the total amount's basically the same, other than the increase of the 18%. Other than that, all the line items are the same figures. As far as the total amount, few changes within the budget. Nothing majorly different, other than the 18% increase on the indirect, or up to 18%.
Okay.
So, other than that, it's basically the same.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Bosky.
Thank you.
Questions?
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the tribal driveways budget.
Motion's been made by Representative Osborne to approve the tribal driveways budget. Have a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Hicks. Roll call vote, please.
Thomasine Yohola Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
Budget for tribal driveways has been approved. Thank you. Appreciate you. Transit.
Can I get a step ladder? Yeah. No. On our budget, of course, we are federally funded. This is funded through the Federal Transit Administration, and our allocation is an apportionment. So you see the FY22 amount is $896.76. That's what we were allotted by our FY21 apportionment. That becomes our FY22 budget. So we are taking. Our salaries are actually the same. We've just split 50-50 on our Schedule A, half out of this budget line, 3309, and then half is going to be out of the Coronavirus Relief Response Safety Act. So we have money set aside for that, and it needs to be spent in specific amount of time, so we have to, we want to spend half of the wages on that, so that's why it looks like it's cut in half. I think that's really the only big adjustment other than the vehicle purchases. We do have an opportunity with some of this emergency funding through FTA to replace some of the vehicles that we are currently getting to their mileage limits. They have to be used for a certain amount of time.
FTA has these useful life benchmarks. Yes. So once we get a vehicle that's passed it and reached its potential, then it'll be retired.
And then our equipment purchases is for barriers and different things we need as far as for coronavirus response. What are they called? HEPA filters and all of those different things that go into the vehicles, and barriers that we have in the partitions between the space between the drivers, things to keep them safe and the public safe.
Yes. So. FTA has just extended our mask mandate too for transit systems. Well, any of the TSA. So now we're been pushed into March, so we have to wear them in our vehicles and our buildings.
Very good, thank you.
And then charter is here as well. The charter budget basically is out of gaming, so the only increase is based on the change in the indirect cost, the 18% in the fringe difference. So, it's basically the same budget. That's the only changes. Yes? Yeah, we've emailed them several times.
They wouldn't be able to see it.
For charter or both transit? Charter.
Any questions? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve it.
Motion by Representative McHenry to approve the budget for transit. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Representative Hicks. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Transit budget's been approved. Thank you.
But,
Appreciate y'all. Environment Services.
Sir.
Before you, you will see the 3 budgets that are tribally funded through our office. One is the solid waste disposal. Other one is the motor vehicle, and the other one is the refuge and recovery, which is the recycling. And basically the same, except for the extra days that we had to pay out, the fringe and the indirect cost. That's what made the movement up on it, but just very little. Last year, we weren't. We got a little short last year. We may get there this year. I'm just letting you know that. But we didn't use all of our motor vehicle money last year because we had a lady out on medical leave, so I didn't use her salary. So I had to use that to pay out last year. So this year she's back. So I don't know. It's going to be, it's tight already because we've just got a quarter of our fuel and we've already used all that. So it's fuel costs have gone up. I'm sure all the departments can testify to that their expenses too are gone up a little. So just know that it's going to be a little tough, but we'll ride it out till we can, and then may have to come back. But nothing's really the same. If anything, we've cut back on a few things, but we certainly appreciate what we do get and the services that we render to our citizens. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Any questions?
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the Environment Services budget.
Motion's been made by Representative Osborne to approve the Environment Services budget. We have a second. Second by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Thomasine Hall Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks, Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Your budget's been approved.
Thank you, and have a good evening.
Oh. Geospatial. Ms. Giorgio. You have the floor, Mr. Harjo.
Okay. So really the only change we had was an increase in personnel cost, and that was just kind of directly related to the indirect going up a little bit. So that was the only line item that had an increase for us. Of course, the IDC. But overall, the budget stayed the same.
Any questions?
Make a motion that we approve.
Motion to approve geospatial budget by Representative McHenry. Have a second? Second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Your budget's been approved, Mr. Harjo.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Secretary of Interior Affairs. Thanks, sir.
So as you can see, our budget remained the same as last year for Interior Affairs. So primarily myself and executive assistant make up the department. So most of the cost here in the salary portion. We do have some for travel, supplies, equipment lease and rental. It's primarily a pretty scaled down budget.
Any questions?
Chairman, motion to approve.
Motion to approve Secretary of Interior Affairs budget by Representative Proctor.
Second.
Second by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Darrell Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Your budget's been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The second one included in your packet is for the country club. And that budget remained flat as well. We had one employee who transferred to another department who was maintaining the country club. He transferred to another department a couple months ago. So we have that position open. But I don't believe it justifies having a full-time person out there. So that's why we put money in Well, we left some in salary if we can find a part-time person to work out there. But we also moved money to contractual, and I'm getting quotes on maintaining the upper grounds around the country club. Trent and his agricultural group, they bale the other portions, and they receive some hay off of that property to benefit our livestock. So that's a beneficial use for that property. That's the change in the budget from salary to contractual for maintenance. I'm also speaking with chief and second chief. We'd like to get council's input next year about possible uses, of that space. The bottom floor has been it's demoed, so it's all just open walls, open space. We have a blank canvas on the bottom floor, and so I think there's a lot of opportunities. Possibly Chief had talked about a possible like a immersion school area or a language center or something for that space. So we'd like to get your thoughts on that, and we have some money in contractual if we want to go in and do a little bit more work on the first floor. We can do that as well.
Very good. Thank you. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Conservation District.
Committee, our budget is determined by law. It's 300,000, so it's the same each year. You might see a few changes on the line items due to the indirect cost and extra days on the salary. I also included two of our employees are paid out of that budget, and one of them, one employee is paid. I included the self-governance budget. We have funds from the USDA and RCS that pays part of the conservationist salary, and then the rest comes out of the self-governance budget.
Thank you. Any questions?
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the Conservation District budget.
Motion's been made by Representative Osborne to approve the Conservation District budget. We have a second. Second by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Thomasine Uhola Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Your budget's been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Risk management.
You say there.
Hey. Hey. Go right ahead, Mr. Booker. You have the floor.
Do risk management first or Arbicare?
That's fine. Risk management.
Risk management?
Yeah.
Basically, everything's the same. Went up to 3% on the wages in our office for 3 people. And but got a significant increase in our insurance. We've raised our deductible up 250,000 per occurrence instead of 50. Tried to alleviate some of the cost on the premiums and knock the premiums down 200,000, but that's as far as we could get on that. So that's where we're sitting at on that. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same.
Thank you.
Great.
I'll let you have mine right now.
Any questions?
Make a motion, we approve.
Motion to approve risk management budget by Representative McHenry. Have a second.
Second.
Second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against.
Where you come up with that at?
Are we good? The 3, 4. You're welcome. The budget for $3,422,213 has been approved for risk management. Down to Arbor Care. Go ahead, Mr. Booker.
We did a small increase for employees over there for 3%. Other than that, we went up $1,500 on equipment maintenance, on the maintenance and repair. Hopefully that'll get us through the year without having to purchase. We've got one vehicle down right now. It's been in the shop for about 6 months trying to get it worked on and get it fixed, and we haven't got it repaired yet. So.
Any questions?
Chairman, motion to approve.
Motion to approve Arbor Care budget by Representative Proctor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Hicks. Roll call vote, please.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Thomasini Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry. Yes. Chairman got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. The budget has been approved. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Booker.
you.
Realty. The Zoom. Go ahead, you have the floor.
Okay, I have 4 budgets, so I don't know what order they was presented to you in. I guess we'll start with the um, tribally funded realty, which on my big budget. It's relatively, nothing has changed except there was an increase in salaries. That change was made during FY 2021. I had to add a position for a probate clerk. That is a carryover from Stigler. We are behind. You ask anybody, they'll say they're waiting on realty to do their inventory for their probate. We have about 300 inventories we're waiting on, and I had one girl doing them, so I had to get her a probate clerk. And so I just rearranged the office a little bit. So I added another position. Everything else is the same. No. Other than that, everything is the same in that big realty budget. Oh.
Any questions?
Here.
Go ahead, Representative Hicks.
Got one. Sonia, is there anything that's not in your budget that y'all might need as far as equipment wise?
So I would prefer to have 4-wheelers for my land operations, for my guys who go out in the field. There's been an uptick if anybody owns property and the marijuana grows. My land guys have been chased off by dogs, by people with guns. 80 to 90% of our restricted and trust properties are not fenced, though I do have a fencing program. And when my guys, they're afoot. We have nothing. We're afoot. They can go out so far on property and then they're walking. And if they go over on somebody's property to try to get to a property because we're landlocked, they've been chased by dogs. They've been chased by people with guns. And so I would rather have them a way to get away. But I would like to have a couple of 4-wheelers. That's what I need in my office. We have a side-by-side, but that doesn't get you where you need to go. So, we have some pretty thick areas that they have to go out into. So
Have y'all looked into quotes or anything for this kind of equipment? Have y'all looked into quotes or anything for this equipment?
I've got quotes, and I've got quotes for trailers.
Okay. Is that something that could be added to their to this budget, or is that something?
I think probably the best route would be legislation. You think,
bring
committee?
Legislation up?
Yeah, and if you'd work with them, maybe you guys could get some legislation drawn, because it sounds like it's, needed.
We have looked when we go to like the places, and Shane also had got us a couple of quotes. There's none. So when we talk to them, they're like, we'll put you on the list. So as soon as we can get on the list to get them, it's like anywhere from 2 to 4 months out. I don't know if anybody's been 4-wheeler shopping, but there's not any. So I guess when people were home on COVID, they just bought 4-wheelers, but they're hard to come by now. I don't know how soon GSA can get them, but they're hard to come by. Yeah, that's so. As soon as I legislation for me, that'd be great. So we can get that done and get on the list at whatever vendor we can go to. That would be great.
Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thanks, Representative Hicks. Go ahead, Mr. Darnell.
Apologize to the committee. We would like for the committee to consider the the amount of the request at $3,175,965. And the changes on the property tax line, it would change 816,729 to 1 million. And this was because of the additional properties. And I apologize to Ms. McIntosh that change wasn't discussed earlier, but that had been through the principal chief's office and felt like it was really non-discretionary, and we had the funding to pay for that. Otherwise, we'd be in a position where we'd have to come back. I mean, I think we're going to have to spend the money, so we'd have to come back for a supplemental appropriation. So we'd like to ask for the committee to consider the changes that I just discussed.
Could you say the total again, please?
$965. It's an additional $183,271, and it's on the property tax line.
We'll need a motion from someone on the committee to make that change.
I make a motion that change it to $3,175,965.
Motion's been made by Representative McHenry. Make that change. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman got 4 in favor, 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. That change has been made. Is there any more? Go ahead.
On the, no. We're good for the time
You're good?
being, yes, yeah.
Okay. Any more questions from the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion for the amended amount.
Just approve as amended.
Just approve as amended.
I make a motion to approve as amended.
We have a motion by Representative McHenry to approve as amended.
Second.
Second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Realty budget's been approved.
I also have a 30% travel budget that comes out of, that's titled appraisals. It's for fee appraisals, which we use when we're doing appraisals for the tribe, and nothing's changed on it.
Any questions? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Representative McHenry. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Representative Hicks. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry. Yes. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. The second component of that budget's been approved.
I also have 2 self-gov budgets. One for appraisals, which is 70%, and nothing's changed on it. I also have a land operations budget, which is a self-gov budget, and actually it decreased just a tiny tad bit, so.
Any questions? We'll do both of these budgets together for approval. If you have any questions, though, right?
Chair, make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Representative Hicks. Second by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Dale Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Budget's been approved. Facilities. There you are. Good. You have the floor, sir. Go right ahead.
All right. On the first budget, you see that is our real property. It is the facilities department. There has been a small increase. I increased everybody's salaries that are currently employed with us by 5%, and that it raised our fringe some. We added some training fees at $2,500. The supplies stayed the same. We had to increase our equipment maintenance right now. We were at $6,000. We had to raise it to 22. Our equipment is in dire need right now. We did increase our building maintenance repair by 10,000, and our ground maintenance is at 9. Communications increased by $1,000, and that's about it. The reason I increased the staff is because they did show up during the blizzard when it was cold, and they never been off since the pandemic. I think they've earned it.
Any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Representative McHenry. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Dale Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Hall Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. That budget passes. Next, we have fleet management.
Well, you can see if you're looking at our program income, we've generated $397,430 since the beginning. That's right behind our Schedule A. And if y'all wanted to see that, we're kind of proud of it. On the fleet management budget, we did increase mainly because of staff. And I know y'all have heard this a million times, but with the McGirt ruling, the police force need to be on the road at all times. And we have to keep them going. And it's been pretty tough at times. We've had people, go down with COVID. So we've had to make the difference. Supplies have increased. Let's see, where am I at? Over the years, but we kept it at 25,000. We're going to utilize our program income to make up the difference. Software licenses are at 35,000. There's an increase on some of those items that we use. We reduced our vehicles to accommodate the salary wages for our staff. There is
Very
a
good. Keep going. Go ahead.
there is a increase in this budget. As you can see, it's at $999,316. We were at $886,904.
Good.
I'm good.
Any questions?
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the fleet management budget.
Motion's been made by Representative Osborne to approve the fleet management budget. Second by Representative McHenry. Roll call vote, please.
Thomasine Uhola Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks,
Yes.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Dale Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. That budget's been approved.
I'd like to add something for y'all's van program y'all have for churches, that the manufacturers are cutting off a lot of these builds now, and it's going to be really tough, so we need to get that taken care of. I know it's kind of off the subject, but, you know, good info going into next year.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate everything you do for us, really.
You're welcome. All right, last but not least, our GSA budget. We did increase this. We added a couple positions. Kind of go over that. We need more inventory and asset people to go through the tribe. With the pandemic, we got kind of behind, and we're needing to catch up. On barcoding, inventory, surplus, auctions. That's the main difference in that, besides the increase of postage. We average about $5,000 to $6,000 a day in postage right now. Some of it's from COVID and ARPA, but we are reimbursed back for that, but postage is going up across the nation. And I did add the telephones and faxes, or telephones into our communication. Right now, fleet's been paying for them. You know, we kind of just move around, but we help out everywhere we can. But other than that, that's all we really changed is our salaries and the increases for the staff.
Any questions over the GSA? Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve GSA budget by Representative McHenry.
Second.
Second by Representative Osborne. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry,
Yes.
Dale Proctor,
Yes.
Thomasine Uhola Osborne,
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. That budget's been approved. Last but not least, information technology. Welcome, Ms. Freeling.
Thank you. On my salary and wages, I have added 4 positions. We do have a need for additional networking staff, a senior systems admin, a security analyst, applications analyst. And the applications would be for continued training for all office suites. all of our software that we offer our employees. These positions are slated for growth. We've experienced a lot of growth in the past year, and they would definitely help. Right now, a lot of our resources are kind of pooled in different directions, and it tends to make our network a little vulnerable when we don't apply our network people to the jobs that they're supposed to be doing. So it would definitely help. This is my indirect, by the way. On the travel, that has stayed the same, and that would be used for staff training for any technical training in our area. And only staff will be using that. Training fees, I did increase that because I had a few employees last year that actually utilized it. So we increased that by $4,000. Seminars and conferences would be focused around security, so I did increase that by $1,000. Supplies, obviously, with the cost of all supplies increasing, and we did tend to run out of money last year on this, and this does cover all computer hardware, networking hardware, cabling, and that increased by $15,000. Software licenses is the big increase this year. We have added a lot of security safeguards. We have a SOC team, which is a security monitoring system or operations that monitors our network 24 hours a day. So that would help circumvent any type of intrusions from outside. We've added Varonis, which is an internal monitoring software, which would monitor for any exfiltration inside the network in the event that there was any type of wrongdoing inside the network. We've added StealthWatch, which is an IDS, which is an intrusion detection system. We've added Umbrella, which monitors those emails that sometimes do get open and can cause a big malware. So everything that we've added in this area was based on security. Vehicle is the same. Maintenance, obviously. I think we have one copier at 4,800. Our equipment maintenance did increase based on the builds that we experienced last year. And there's some potential for growth this year. And that would include fiber, cabling, hardware, and any moves that we've done in the past year and any that would cover this year. Our office space is for one employee that's housed at the housing building for a full-time technician. That includes his utilities. Telephone and faxes are phones that we use within our department and at some of our remote locations. And our communications is another line that increased by $300,000. We have like to enter into a contract with Cox for SD-WAN, which is a redundant network in all locations. In Okmulgee, that would cover all offices here. In Wetumpka, the SRO. At Coweta, so it would be every point across the network. We would have it covered with full redundancy in case there's a cut in fiber. So we fell over to a cellular signal just to avoid any production loss. And that also covers any growth with MPLS circuits. So if we're building another building, we do have to provide the MPLS circuit, the build, and the fiber that goes with that. And the costs in those do increase every year. I do have a gaming budget. Mr. Darnell, did we want to change that? Any of the line items from gaming to my indirect on the software? This was when we did our budgets. We had talked about moving these to indirect because they were kind of duplicates of what I have here.
If they apply to the nation overall,
yes,
we can move them. And then we had To the extent that any of the costs here that can be passed on through CARES Act money or ARPA money, we'll do that first. But this budget should reflect all the costs in case we can't do that. I don't have any proposed changes really this evening. This looks fine.
Okay. Our contractual stayed the same at 75,000, and that's for any work that we have to outsource in regards to implementations, upgrades, or new builds. The communications line increased by $10,000. We are now paying for all internet services for all communities. Previously, we were just paying for 9. Now we're paying for all of them. We've also allocated a technical support person that's all he does is support the community centers. So that's where the fuel purchases comes in for him. We do support 30 community centers, multiple remote locations with the Head Starts, Child Cares, and that's where also the redundancy for the network cost will increase.
Good.
I have an IT communications budget, but it's revenue generated. And with our new SIP, obviously it's a lot cheaper for every program, and we've not exceeded the yearly allowance that I think $144,000. So we have kept our costs down on that.
Very good. Any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Representative McHenry. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Proctor. Roll call vote, please.
Charles McHenry. Yes. Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Thomasine Yohola Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Information technology budget passes. Thank you.
Make a motion to refer all the approved budgets to BF&J.
We have a motion by Representative Proctor to refer all the budgets that have been passed in our meeting today to BF&J committee. We have a second. Second by Representative Hicks. Roll call vote, please.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Thomasine Yohola Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry. Yes. Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. That motion passes. Thank you, committee. We're down to other business.
Chairman,
Yes.
I make a motion that we add TR 21-171 and TR 21-172 to the agenda.
Just lost my agenda. Motion's been made by Representative Osborne to add TR 21-171 and TR 21-172 to the agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Representative Proctor. Roll call vote, please.
Thomasine Yohola Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. Those two bills will be added to our agenda, and we will start with TR 21-171. Tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a Muskogee Creek Nation Department of Housing contract with McKill Tribal Construction, LLC. Sponsor is Thomasine Yohola Osborne.
Motion for due pass.
Motion for a due pass by Representative Osborne. second by Representative McHenry. Discussion.
Chairman, we have a few people online from housing.
Yes, committee, good evening.
Good
I would
evening.
like to first thank you for including these two on this hearing tonight. The first one, TR 21-171, will be for the construction of a group of 4 homes. 2 of them will be on our homeownership program in the city of Okemah, and the other 2 will be burnout reconstructions. One will be in Dustin and the other one is in Shakota. And if passed this month, we will be expecting construction to start next month. For TR, do you want me to go ahead with the other one?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Any questions from the committee? Roll call vote, please.
Thomasine Hola Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. TR 21-171 passes. Next, we have TR 21-172, a tribal resolution of the Muskogee Creek Nation authorizing the principal chief to execute a Muskogee Creek Nation Department of Housing contract with McKill Tribal Construction, LLC.
Chairman, I make a motion for due pass.
Motion for due pass by Representative Osborne, second by Representative McHenry. Discussion?
Ms. Settlemeyer.
Yes. For this contract, it will be for a group of 3 homes. They will all be in Okmulgee side by side by the same contractor. And again, the construction will expected to begin by mid to late January on this group.
Very good. Any questions from the committee? Roll call vote, please.
Thomasine Hola Osborne.
Yes.
Joseph Hicks.
Yes.
Charles McHenry.
Yes.
Darrell Proctor.
Yes.
Chairman, you got 4 in favor and 0 against.
4 in favor, 0 against. TR 21-172 passes. Thank you, committee. Do you have anything else under other business? Announcements. Do we have any announcements? Adjournment and benediction. I'd like to ask Representative McHenry to do our benediction, please.
Continue, Father, to pray for blessings upon our nation, your favor and your increase upon our citizens, upon our nation, Father. We ask that you bless the decisions that were made today.
Man, no. Adjournment at 5:24.